I feel late, and I'm pretty sure you feel it too. Not because someone said it to you, but because you said it to yourself. Scrolling, watching, comparing, and suddenly this quiet sentence lands in your chest. Everyone moved forward, except me. It's not failure, it's not collapse, it's that heavy, exhausting feeling of standing still while the world looks like it's running. And the worst part? You're doing your best and still feel behind. Let me name the pain honestly. This isn't laziness, it isn't lack of faith, this is comparison. And comparison doesn't start when you see other people, it starts when you believe the picture. When you believe the highlight is the whole story, when you compare your real life with its doubts and delays to someone else's edited moment. That's not motivation, that's pressure. Social media isn't reality, it's a stage. No backstage, no context, no cost, and yet we measure ourselves against it every single day. The Bible said this long before Instagram existed. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. Meaning God is not evaluating you by the same metrics that are exhausting you. Our generation lives inside comparison. Previous generations compared themselves to a few people around them. We compare ourselves to thousands, constantly. Careers, bodies, relationships, spirituality, and slowly, without noticing, we start believing we're less. But Scripture says each has received their own gift. Matthew 25. Different paths, different timing, different stories. I've met people who look incredibly successful on paper, money, influence, talent, and almost all of them admitted the same thing. The most miserable season of my life was when I was trying to be someone else. That's not spiritual talk, that's human truth. Because the Bible never asked anyone to be a copy. It says each one should carry their own load. Galatians 6 verse 5. Not someone else's pace, not someone else's story. This is why Peter's story hits so close. Not Peter the saint, Peter the young man, impulsive, passionate, confident. He promised loyalty and collapsed under pressure. He denied Jesus. After the resurrection, he didn't lead. He went back to fishing, backwards, ashamed, feeling late. When Jesus meets him, he doesn't compare him to anyone. He doesn't bring up failures. He asks one question: do you love me? John 21. Not what have you achieved, not why aren't you like them, relationship before results. But Peter does what we all do. He looks at John and asks, what about him? And Jesus answers with words that can heal a generation. What is that to you? You follow me. John 21:22. In other words, stop measuring your path against someone else's. God isn't running a competition, He's building people. Social media lies quietly. It says, if you were faster, you'd be better. If you were further, you'd be worthy. But God says something different. Whoever is faithful in little will be faithful in much. Luke 16 verse 10. Faithfulness matters more than visibility, depth more than speed. Let me ask you something real. Who is the one person you constantly compare yourself to, and why? Is it because you see the outcome but not the cost, the anxiety, the pressure, the loneliness? You see the picture, not the price. Here's a harder question. If you stopped comparing yourself today, what would God be asking you to do next? Not 5 years from now, now. Because your word is a lamp to my feet. Psalm 119 verse 105. A lamp shows one step, not the whole road. We were raised believing success means getting ahead of others, but the gospel quietly redefines success, becoming who you were created to be. Because what good is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Mark 8 verse 36. That's not preaching, that's reality. Maybe you feel late. Maybe your life doesn't look how you planned, but here's the promise you're allowed to hold on to. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1 verse 6. Your story isn't over. God is not rushed, and He hasn't forgotten you. So let me leave you with questions worth sitting with. When was the last time you felt enough without comparison? Who are you measuring yourself against? And if you stopped today, what honest step could you take? Because here's the truth. You're not late. You were just measuring yourself with the wrong ruler.
Some videos are just watched. Others are felt. If this one reached you, like it and stay with us by subscribing.